Hi everyone, I just want to tell you a little bit about this guy, Frank Baler. I met him in the early 2000s and we have been in touch ever since then, back and forth, talking, and every now and then he would kind of show up, we would talk a little bit. And in 2020, he gave me a manuscript of a book. He says that he found TH and he wanted to tell me how he did it, how he found it. So he handed me this manuscript called Finding TH. And it was like 150,000 words, was way too long. And he asked me, look, do whatever you want, and I figured I'll publish it in the form of a book, Frank Baler Finds TH. But I talked to a couple of professionals on it. They said, look, it's a bit too long, and we went back and forth a few times. Eventually, I got it down to about 87 or 88,000 words or so. I'm not sure that this version of the manuscript does justice to what TH went through, because I have read the entire manuscript quite a few times, and I love the story. But anyway, the book was finally published after about 4 years of going back and forth, editing, changing, improving on it here and there. The story was not changed at all. There were a couple of little literary changes, like grammatical things, little things like that, right? And a section of it was removed to make it shorter. An entire section of it had to be removed to make it to a more manageable size. In the end, the book was published. It was published this week, a couple days ago, and people who have read it, including the editors, absolutely love the story. I have read the book quite a few times, I can tell you that, and I can't put it down. It's a fascinating story. Essentially, you have a man who feels broken and devastated and no longer wants to live, and he had been a student of mysticism, and what he does is he meets a couple, John and Priscilla, who kind of show him a path forward. Just when he thought his life was over, this couple talks to him and says, look, there is a path forward, just follow this path, the mystical path. And of course, this man was reluctant to follow the mystical path because he actually believed that he had failed out of the path, like a school thing, right? You failed out of school, you're expelled, whatever. He thought he was done. But this couple tells him, no, actually, you're not done and you haven't failed, or whatever. They have these conversations and they show him, here's the path. And this guy, as broken as he was, as devastated as he was, he just kind of goes through the motions, and things begin to happen in his life that when I read it, I go, no, dude, there's no way this actually happened. Like, it's like, what? This is like amazing. So I spoke to Frank Baler, and I'm gonna have him on this channel, and he tells me not only it's all true, but there's more to it, and he couldn't even say it in the manuscript because it would be way too long. He says there's more to it. He says not only is it true, he says there's more to it, and he's looking forward to telling more about that story. But he says that what's written there actually happened. I don't know. So I want to invite you to pick up a copy of the book and leave a useful review on Amazon. And there's a reason I'm asking you this favor. It's because I think the book is lovely, and I think it can help a lot of people who somehow or another feel devastated. A lot of people are feeling broken. They're feeling like there's no hope. And I know that. You guys know me because I'm a therapist and I work with people every day who no longer feel like they can go on with their lives. And there's really no good tools to help them. Medication doesn't help. Talk therapy doesn't help. I do hypnosis. I do a form of therapy that, we've been lucky, I guess. We've been able to help a few people. But what Frank tells me is that this book will help a ton of people because they're going to find in that book a pathway that they can follow and to discover themselves and heal the pain, the trauma, the develop joy in their lives. I mean, it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful book. So look, at midnight tonight, the book goes on sale for $0, 0 cents, absolutely free. If you don't make it in the period, when it's free, I would appreciate if you put down a couple dollars, whatever it is, to purchase a copy of it. I assure you it's worth every penny. It's only a few dollars. And all of the proceeds from the sale of that book, Frank told me, are going to a particular cause. He wants to work with children. He wants to help children, particularly children who, for whatever reason, no longer have parents, or children who are hurting. And they haven't decided yet. I don't know exactly yet what the I personally sponsor a child in Nicaragua, and I love that, and I get letters from her, and she goes to school, and I would love to sponsor everyone. In other words, I would love to sponsor a ton of people. I'm not sure that that's the direction they want to go with the proceeds of the sales of this book, but I have heard that they definitely want to work with children who are, give them a better future somehow, right? Abuse, loss of, we want to help them out. So we haven't quite decided yet. Either way, the money is going to be, put away and whatever, and point is, I want you guys to vote and suggest where, what kind of children. I'm not sure that it would be a good idea to spread it so thin. I think it would be more effective to take one family, two families maybe, and help them out really well so they can really get on their feet. So we don't know yet how we're going to do this, but we do know that 100% of the proceeds of the sale of this book is going to help children in need in some way or another. And I invite all of you to suggest and cooperate on this project. There's a lot that I cannot do. Frank just handed me a manuscript and says, okay, here it is, you publish, you deal with it, and I'm doing the best I can here, but it's a lot of work. And he really thinks that we should help children in need. So anyway, I'm counting on you guys to pitch in and help out and suggest and see what we can do with this. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Pick up a copy of the book. If you wait until midnight, the Kindle version, the electronic version, is $0. If you can afford a couple dollars, purchase the copy of the book. The proceeds are going to go to help the children. They're not coming to me. We're going to separate all that. And then the most important thing is, see if you would be so kind as to write a review of the book on Amazon, because this will help the algorithm introduce the book to other readers, right? Now, what I will do, since I've read the book so many times, I'm intimately familiar with this story. What I will do is I'll keep on posting videos telling you this story and maybe even reading it for you, so that you can have a quick synopsis of what the book is about. So I'll do that in the next couple of days, so that you have some ideas about what the book's about, so that you can write a good, intelligent review. But I can tell you one thing, and if you've known me for any length of time, the book is awesome. I can tell you that much. So please, kindly, go on Amazon. I'm going to leave a link below. Get a copy of the book and leave a useful review. And that's just a favor that I'm asking you, so that you can help me spread the message, and so that other people have access to the book. Now, beyond that, I really would invite you to consider reading the book. You might say, wow, it's a long book, whatever, I don't know if I want to put in the time. I can tell you, I've read it many times, and it's worth, I keep on reading it, and every time I read it, I go, dude, this is like awesome. Like last night I was reading it for a good while, and I go, dude, this is like a year's worth of classes in mysticism and spirituality, and this is like, every chapter is so dense, there's so much there. I think Frank Baler is someone who spent pretty much his whole life in search of this stuff, and it seems from reading the book that he found something that he wants to share with everybody else. So I'll leave it up to you. I do invite you to read the whole book and leave a review and so forth, and we're going to be talking more about this. I'll keep on posting updates and so forth, and I'll tell you about the book chapter by chapter, so that if you don't have the time to read the whole story right now, at least you become familiar with the whole story, because I'll tell you all about it in a few words. I'll summarize every chapter. And then if as you all know, I've been really, really busy with different projects that are going on, but I will do my best to read the book to you. I'll be happy to do that, but it might take me several days to get there. So, but I'll certainly be happy to tell you the story. All right, thank you so much, and blessings to all of you.